Question 4 for Unit 9 is yet another variation on the question we've just seen in the preceding two problems. A family spends $133.09 to buy items at a grocery store. Each year, for 10 years, the cost of those items goes up because of inflation. Suppose the rate of inflation was 2%. Then 1 year after the items cost $133.09, they would cost that amount plus an additional 2%. And 10 years later, they would cost $162.24. If a family is paying $162.24 now for items, and 10 years ago they cost $133.09, then the inflation rate is averaging 2%. But the problem tells us that the cost of the items now is $176.30. In order to get this final amount, we'll need to adjust the inflation rate. We use goal-seek to get the answer. We'd like our final answer to be $176.30, and we get it by changing the inflation rate. If items cost $176.30 now, and 10 years ago they cost $133.09, then the average inflation rate must be 2.85%. By the way, in real life, inflation is not the same each year. The inflation might have been 1% the first year, 4% the next year, and so on. We say that the average rate is 2.85 if a steady 2.85% inflation gives us the same percentage increase that we've seen from 133.09 to 176.30. This is closely related to our ordinary idea of average. If a student takes 4 tests and gets an average grade of 80, this doesn't mean that he or she got an 80 on each test. Perhaps the first test was a 70 and the second was a 90. Perhaps the third test was 75 and the last was 85. The point is that the student gets the same at the end of the term as if he or she had gotten exactly 80 on each test. In the same way, we say that 2.85% is the average inflation rate because if inflation was precisely 2.85% each year, prices would rise from 133.09 to 176.30. Whatever the actual inflation rates may have been in between, they were equivalent to a steady rate of 2.85%. And that's why we call 2.85% the average inflation rate.